Alright, I just tweaked the recording settings and hopefully it doesn't stutter as much. I hope, I don't think it was too bad, but I am sort of fiddling with this thing, trying to get it time to optimize it. So sorry in the meantime. Anyway, back to business here. Gonna be getting my worker and then a settler. And so yes, it's really important when you're founding a religion to get that up as quickly as you can. But at the same time, I still kind of believe in my philosophy of improving terrain as quickly as you can.
The Pantanal is the most complex intertropical alluvial plain of the planet, and perhaps
I don't know a whole lot about what this is in real life. Pantanal. In terms of wonders, natural wonders, it's solid. It's kind of, it tends to appear in flat grassland, which is pretty bad because flat grassland is the worst tiles you can get apart from tundra and desert, obviously. Anyway. Hello. So he is closer than Gandhi. I don't think he knows where my city is. I haven't seen any enemy units approaching my borders yet, which is nice. I spaced out. I meant to bring this guy home, as I was saying. My mistake. Looks like Gandhi is fighting somebody here. So we did find a commercial city-state, which is very nice. Commercial and industrial, and maybe science are the best city-states you can find. I can't remember Muscat's bonus. Oh, their bonus is quite good. +1 amenity. +1 amenity for a commercial district. Yeah, I mean, it's not game break. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. It's not game breaking, but it's pretty good. I approve. So I'm actually going to, yes, I kind of want this guy to keep scouting. I don't want him to get injured, but I'm going to kill this. The reason being I want to boost my way towards bronze working, which is kill 3 barbarians. Also, it appears to have given him a promotion, so it's actually overall quite good. Normally I wouldn't have your scout fighting barbarians at all. There's just really better things you could be doing. So funny thing, I was kind of excited because there was a city-state here. But of course, of course the Aztecs killed them because the AI basically just runs at the first thing it sees. Which in this case was thankfully not me. So I can't say I feel too bad. So the question is, do I build archers now, or do I get masonry? And thing is, because I'm going for a religion, my my archers will be a little bit delayed, but I think that's okay. As you'll see, the archer is so powerful that it's okay if it's not the first thing you rush. It's strong enough that you can put off building them and it's still brokenly strong, basically. I always like getting ranger on my scouts. There tends to be roughly equal in terms of forest or hills, but forest tends to clump up like this, so you can't really avoid it, and it's really frustrating sometimes. So that's just my personal opinion. A very good definitive tip I can give you is when you upgrade your scout a second time, which isn't that common. It depends on how long it survives before inevitably barbarians appear and kill it, or your enemy kills it, or whatever. But you're gonna want to get both Alpine and Ranger. Like, don't really bother with the other scout promotions. You know, maybe I've tried to play around with the promotion that gives scouts like plus 20 combat strength, because that's kind of crazy, but it's pretty inconsistent. That's a little weird. It's pretty inconsistent. So it's just really nice to have the scouts zipping around here with Alpine and Ranger. It's really powerful. You can get it at your second. I've never read. I don't often read these. We could fit you for one of our pointy hats. It's rather funny. Tomaris, sometimes you can call her the queen of Civ 6 because her bonuses are incredibly strong for warfare. They actually toned her down a little bit in the recent patch. Previously, when you killed a unit, it would heal. Your unit would heal 50%, and now it's only 30%, which is good. I think that's a step in the right direction without making like a huge change, which is generally how I approve of balance, like in general in games. Let's see here. So we have some housing available. I think I want to improve the wheat here. Not wheat, rice. So I often like rag on food. Like, I don't think food is all that important. Like, housing is what's important. But if you have housing available, it's important to grow, because you can grow very quickly with like not too much food, and it gets you a whole extra citizen to work a tile, gets you 2/3 of a science, as well as 1/3 of a culture. So let's take a look at the religion here. No one's founded one yet. 3 people have started working towards them. That's a little scary. It wasn't so. It's always important to keep track of that sort of thing, because there may come a certain point where it's like not even worth pursuing a religion. Like, sometimes you might find yourself like, okay, I'm about to build my first holy site. What is this at? And it's like there are 6 civs with like plus 50, and it's like, oh, this just isn't happening on Deity this game. And it's important to not invest in something that won't pay off. That said, like, as someone who often tries to get a religion because I kind of just want it to work, like I want to play around with it, it seems to have potential. It just like feels so bad every game getting a religion. I've realized it's not the end of the world if you build a holy site and you actually fail to get a religion. It's not the end of the world. It's not as bad as it sounds, because faith, you know, faith generation, it's hard to quantify, but patronaging great people, patronizing, I suppose, is the word. Patronizing great people is actually pretty cool. It's pretty powerful if you have decent faith generation. And the other thing is, if you have a holy site, you can take advantage of other people's religions, because they will have a unique building, for example, +1 housing or +2 science or something. And oftentimes religious bonuses, even if you didn't found the religion, it might have a bonus like shrines and temples provide housing, which is quite good, and it's worth having. So basically, like, the holy site becomes less useful than it was, but it's not game over. Like, I mean, like, you should shed a tear when you miss your religion, but the game, you can still win that game. You're not too gimped. It is super annoying though. Like, I mean, I say that, but at the same time, like, I often queue up like India or something because I want to found a religion. I want to like play with religion, see how it goes. But then, what's going on here? I play around with religion, and then you miss it, and it's like, come on, like, you literally did everything you possibly could to get a religion, and you still miss it. That's still really common. It's pretty frustrating, honestly. I think they should tone down the AI's pursuit of religion in the early game, because it's just so unfair. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I'm pretty much accruing profit points as fast as humanly possible. Like, my current build order that I'm showing you is pretty much as fast as you can possibly get a religion on just in your own cities, building holy sites. Holy site prayers aside, that's a different thing. Holy site prayers, which I'll talk about, which hopefully doesn't come to that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like every district has like a project associated with it. Like you can run a project in the district to boost like the great person points for that district. And so like the last ditch attempt at getting a religion is you run holy site prayers, which give you great profit points as well as faith. But that's kinda weak sauce. Like it really just like, you kind of feel like if you build 2 fast holy sites and 2 fast shrines, you kind of feel like entitled. You should be entitled to getting at least 5th religion. You know, I feel like that's kind of bad balance on the part of the game on Deity. Anyway, it is what it is. Hopefully they tweak that. So I wanted to improve these food tiles to boost my city up. Now it's going to grow in 9 turns instead of like 20 or whatever. And it also gets yet another housing, so it could potentially keep growing. But now that I've done that, I want to build a mine. I want to get my amenity. I want to get a production, because production is ultimately what you want the most. Now I actually got a little distracted, but I wanted to purchase another scout. Scouts are quite inexpensive, and it seems like there's a significant amount of land over here. And I really just want to get as much information as I can, meet as many city-states as I can, and oftentimes there will be leftover tribal villages that other players haven't found yet. You can stumble across those even fairly late in the game. So it's just really never a bad idea. It's very inexpensive. It's a pretty good way to spend my gold rather than letting it sit there. So I'm a little torn. I could, this is kind of interesting. So I could build a mine right now, and I would get craftsmanship. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. Basically what I was debating was whether or not I want to wait for masonry to finish, build a Nubian pyramid, and then start building a holy site. Because that would be a pretty cool way to boost my holy site production quite significantly. But this is a little safer, a little more long-term, more beneficial long-term. Also, I'm not going to quite build a holy site right away. I know I'm kind of risking a lot here. But overall, like, yes, I'm delaying the holy site itself, but if I am improving my terrain, like in 2 cities, that overall boosts my overall production rate like much better, and it just sets you up way better for long-term success, and it will get you the holy sites almost as fast. And it's a better way to not like totally screw yourself going for a religion. Now the other sort of last-ditch way to... There are a few like tips here. I might as well talk a little bit about religion. I was thinking of making like a series on like a religious victory, but it's really important to understand on Deity. To get a religion, you want to build the holy sites as fast as possible. Last ditch, you can run holy site prayers, and the other trick you can use is you get the Pantheon Divine Spark, which is actually probably the best Pantheon for culture victories anyway. If you're absolutely sick in the head and you're trying to get a religion and go for a culture victory, that's kind of demented. But anyway, that will help you. So this is bad news. We're going to keep an eye on this. So I think I mentioned early on, if the AI like attacks you in the early game, can be like, it can just basically totally screw you over. So I could actually not get a religion. I'm going to see where he goes. So as I said earlier, you have like a decision to make once you get to the point where you're going to build holy sites. So I'm not quite there yet. I think I'm going to bring this guy home. I don't think the Aztecs will kill me, although eagles are powerful, and I do have to worry a little bit. It depends like how early I catch them. So if they start moving this way, I should be fine, especially if I start building archers, because the Nubian archer most definitely will counter the eagle warrior. As cool as the eagle warrior is, I really love the unit, and I think it's powerful. You know, I want to send this guy scouting, but I think right now it's more important to keep an eye on this guy here. So let me double check religion. So I think Stonehenge founded a religion, so that's 1. And then here it's 2, 3. So I actually think I have a decent shot at religion. So I'm going to go for it. And actually though, I know I said that when you're going for Petra, it's good to found your second city on Petra, where you're going to build it. But you know, situations change, and because I'm going for a religion, I really want my second city to be powerful right away.
Every nation lives.
And so I think I'm going to take some better terrain here. Frustratingly, he took this spot, so I'm in a little bit of a pickle here. I think I'll send it up to where this Scythian scout is. He took some of this area, which was kind of nice. In fact, he might build Petra. I kind of wanted to settle like right here, but he put this city in a kind of an awkward spot where like. But what I could do, like, ideally I might settle down here, but I do not want to antagonize Montezuma until my religion is finished and I can start producing archers. So for now, I actually screwed up a little bit. I meant to swap out foreign trade. I tend to make these mistakes when I am talking here. What I can do is put a turn to the holy site, which I think I would put here. That's not a desert hill. It's +2. If I put it there, it's +3. It's a bit hard to say. But then it's +4, +3 here as well because of the mountain. I think I'll stick it right here. Because I'm trying to go for Desert Folklore as my pantheon. I'm not sure if it's been taken yet. Dance of the Aurora was taken for sure. I don't know about the rest of them. I'm not sure if there's a place to check that. I actually don't know. I don't think you can see until you found a pantheon. Anyway, let's get this show on the road. So I'm basically doing my best and to keep track of where these troops go and whether or not I have to suddenly, spontaneously switch over to archer production. Because obviously, at the end of the day, it's not worth dying for. That's a bit frustrating. It's not worth dying for a religion, as you might imagine. So I'm going to do something that I hope I don't consider cheating on Deity. So maybe you do, and I apologize for this, but typically barbarian scouts do not capture your units. They typically, unless they have the little question mark, the little exclamation point on their head, sometimes they become hostile then, but typically they just run around. And so it's pretty possible that it's most likely, unless they patch this, maybe they patch this, it's entirely possible. We're about to find out. The barbarian won't capture it. Like, obviously, like, it's pretty bad to send unescorted settlers, but you kind of have to, like, take every advantage you can get on Deity. And so I'm gonna, hopefully they didn't patch that in, that and I can take advantage of that right now. Anyway, going to put this guy here to watch the enemy along with this warrior. That way the scout can keep going. So they have been sitting there for a while. You know, I'm not sure if they patched anything. Like, if the AI's smarter or whatever, but if it preps for war better, I'm still playing around with the new patch. We'll find out. So as you can see, the scout had the opportunity to take my settler, but it did not. Yeah, I mean, call it a glitch, call it whatever, but I feel like it was legitimate that I knew the scout wouldn't take it because of how the scout AI works, so I took advantage of that. So what I was saying was cheating is that I kind of if he did capture it and I was wrong, I would have reloaded, which you might consider cheating, but I was, you know, I don't know. I was testing one of the game mechanics, I feel like, so. You know what I did do though? I need to go a little slower. I've been talking a lot. I meant to swap in builders, and I won't cheat on this unless I have to. I could have cheated again and like reloaded last turn. I don't like to do that because I think it's more legitimate to accept your mistakes as if you were playing, you know, multiplayer. Anyway, let's get some builders. I can throw down a Nubian pyramid, which is pretty sick. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder why he marched all the way down here. So he actually settled exactly where I wanted to settle for Petra. Perhaps one tile up, but maybe, probably not. Yeah, I think that's where I would settle. So I am planning on going to war. So when I decide, like, you know, who to attack, I can factor that in. Maybe I want to attack this, try to build Petra. Maybe I want to attack this, build Petra. Maybe one of them will build it. Because yes, like, I don't know, people, Civ players love to talk about Petra. Like, it's a very good wonder. It's definitely like worth strategizing over. It's not maybe quite as good as people think it is. It was a little bit better in Civ 5, I think, than in Civ 6. It's still very strong, but you know, it's not the end of the world. It's not like you should make all your decisions based around it. But if you see an opportunity, like right there was a Petra city, I mean, that's obviously worth going for. So as for this city, I think I'm going to put him right here, as opposed to anywhere like that. It's a little sad that it's flatland, but I don't really want to settle on a grassland hill, because you don't get any benefits from grassland hill, other than defense, of course, but you don't get any extra production, and grassland hills are really good for working. So anyway, I am debating on whether to have this guy immediately start a holy start or build a builder. So let's decide how many builders I need. I need one builder to like improve the first 3 tiles here. I need a second builder to improve a couple of tiles here. So I only basically need 2 builders. So I think I'd rather crank out 2 builders here rather than wait. This will probably be about like 13 turns, because yes, it says 21, but it's going to grow in 8 turns, and then it'll be approximately like 10 when it grows or something like that. 9. So the overall will be like 11, 12 turns, whatever. Anyway, that's a little bit too long for me. I'm just going to get started on my holy site here. I think I'm going to put it here because I'm still making it go for desert folklore. And I'm not going to use this tile anyway. So yeah, it'll take a while, but it will grow. I can send a builder over. It'll be much faster than 33 turns. If you're fairly new to Civ and you panic when you see this like 33, you're not taking into account the city growth. It's nowhere near. It's much faster than 33. I would approximate it'll be maybe 14, 15 turns. Depends how. I think I'm going to send this builder directly over there. So this guy's creeping over. It's got me a little worried. So this is very awkward because it appears he is moving towards my city at the exact same time as I just planted my holy sites, and therefore committed to trying to get a religion, as opposed to, say, building a campus, or building a commercial hub, or building more settlers, or building an army. So this is a little bit sketch now. Let's take a look at here. Yeah, so if I was going to get a religion right now, I would have to pretty much go all in, which is kind of what I was going to do, but it's not appearing to work out. Is the simple way I'll put it. So yeah, we're kind of in a pickle here because we need 115 gold. I need to switch out. I need to switch out for archers, or else face death. The question is how many turns. I think I can get away with letting the builder finish, because that will make a big difference for me. But then I have to basically give up on my religion, which is kind of sad. Yeah, might as well not bother with this. So, tragically, the question is, what would I build otherwise? Probably a monument. So, what you've just witnessed is fairly common. I don't know if there's a name for it. It's called, like, when you get screwed by deity, basically, is what I would call it. Because, I mean, I feel like this is kind of a testament, like, what could I have possibly done differently that what could I have possibly done differently? Actually, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get to the fastest. Actually, I want military, because it gives you flanking bonuses. What? Let this video be the example. Like, how could I have gotten a religion faster? Like, explain that to me. How could I have gotten a religion faster than I did, and not died? Which we'll see. We'll see what happens. What do I want here? Bronze working. Wheel. Chariots are nice. Spearmen are nice. Probably chariots. Chariots, like, yes, they're weak to spearmen, but there doesn't tend to be that many spearmen, and then basically they're just like a 3 movement, 28 strength warrior. You know. So it's kind of it's a nice way to boost your melee, the melee corps of your army. It's really a shame that he didn't declare war on Gandhi. Alright, wish me luck. So he's moving back. It's a little unclear. That's what happens to your scout sooner or later. I don't feel bad about that. Anyway, it's time for some archers. I would like to swap in my government now, which I can do. And I'm going to have you build archers too. That may have been a mistake. I don't know. I'm trying to get it to finish growing. I do need to boost this production here. It's worth it for me to do this. Plus 50% production towards melee and range. Plus 1 production in all cities. That's as fast as I can build an archer. That's kind of weird that it only went down to 5. Anyway, and I also need to upgrade this slinger. So, unfortunately I didn't get to show off religion. Almost certainly, my dreams are dead. 3, 4th, 5th. Aztec is on its way to the 5th religion. At the same time as attacking me. That would come in handy. I shouldn't have paid for open borders. There was no reason for me to, but I was sort of rushing. So he hasn't moved, so I don't know. Let's see how this plays out, basically.